I literally had to step back and say, listen, Farazi, you're being an idiot. So do you have somebody in the workplace who's really critical to you doing an excellent job or doing a breakthrough job, but fundamentally, this person is a blocker. This person is difficult to work with. You don't sync with this individual. You have a different point of view. Maybe they're just an all-out pain in the ass. Do you have an individual who is stopping you from breaking through and truly being transformational in what you're trying to achieve? Well, if the answer is you do, I'm about to throw you a curveball. The problem is not that individual, it's you. Here's the bottom line. I believe at the end of the day, when you're trying to create transformation, you will always find individuals that because they have different professional points of view, or they just are difficult, sticky people, there will be obstacles that get in your way. Your abdication of making that relationship work is your responsibility. Your indulgence that you actually maybe even don't like that person, and you're just going to rest on not liking that person and not moving that agenda forward despite the erosion of shareholder value, that to me is all on you. By the way, I am the worst egregious violator of this in my career, no question. I have been cowardice and afraid of people that react negatively and I just don't want to deal with them because I'm conflict avoidant. I have been indulgent because I haven't liked somebody and I've gotten used to not liking somebody, and I've liked not liking somebody in the relationship with them, so I've held on to resentments. I have been lazy where I just thought, I've got so much to do that it would be so much more work for me to actually be successful at breaking down the doors and building this relationship and gaining the kind of co-creation permission that I would need to work with this individual, and I just stay in my silo and get it done as best as I can. Lazy, indulgent, cowardice, all of these are just excuses, but the reality is that as leaders in a transformation pressured world that we live in today, it's all on us to forgive all of whatever eccentricities are there, to surpass, to build the relationship, and to make stuff happen. I'll give you a personal example. In my own firm, I've had a leader in the past who was much more reserved than I am in their style. I felt a little defensive, in fact. In fact, I felt that this individual wasn't what I would call a seeker. I mean, I'm somebody who every single moment of a weekend, I'm finding a way to consume self-help. I want to go higher. I want to stay more grounded. I'll do any meditation retreat, any spiritual retreat, anything that Tony Robbins is coming out with or Deepak Chopra is coming out with, or anybody. I will be on the front of the line trying it out to see whether or not I can go higher in my development as an individual. And I found this individual fundamentally not that kind of a seeker, which was challenging for me because in a business we're all about the unleashing of high performance, I would have wanted that for all of the individuals. That said, he was kicking butt with his clients. He was getting extraordinary client satisfaction, and yet he and I just kept seeing not eye to eye, but we kept coming to log jams and bumping heads. For a long period of time, I just wanted to be avoidant. I just shut down. I said, you know what? This wasn't worth it to me. At the times that I tried, heat would rise up and I would get frustrated and resentful, and I would probably bring an undue climax to the discussion by virtue of the energy and the resentment that I was bringing to the conversation in the first place. The bottom line is I was not a creator of a pathway forward. I was clearly a part of the problem. So what did I do? I had to do an incredible 180. I literally had to step back and say, listen, Farazi, you're being an idiot. This individual is highly successful with clients. This individual is making both you and him more successful, impacting more people, and I don't give a damn about your feelings or your resentments. The reality is you owe it to the world, to yourself, and to the rest of the company to figure out a way to make this work. So that took me on a whole different journey. It took me on a journey of biting my tongue, took me on a journey of empathy, took me on a journey of seeking the appreciation that prior to I ignored in trying to find the differences. It took me on a journey of these things that I called coffee talks, where this individual and I would spend increasing time just relaxed, soaking in, trying to find opportunities for advancement, and me fundamentally putting on the hat of trying to serve them and their success. It fundamentally worked. Without me showing up with resentment and resistance, with me fully forgiving any eccentricities on their part, I was able to make movement. I was able to relax the tension so that we could get some traction. You know, I often think about, on a personal example, just in dealing with our own kids. When our kids are acting out and behaving inappropriately, you know, we don't cross our arms and say, when you're ready to behave like an adult, I will be your father. My job is to be a father no matter what. And my job is to show up. And sometimes you got to go 99.9% of the way for the entire teenage years until they become the kind of young humans that we'd hope that they would become. But it's not by shutting them down or shutting yourself down. It's by patience, by forgiveness. It's by asking yourself the question, what is my part? I know I don't want to seem righteous about this. This isn't easy. Sometimes it's not even natural. It isn't natural. You know, particularly for those of us who have a hair trigger insecurity brain that fights or flight in terms of my interactions with people based on my old childhood upbringing. But it doesn't work. The only thing that works is a commitment to build and to grow together, a commitment to co-creation. All of this, I think, required a new word. As a result, we created a new word for this kind of relationship, one that doesn't dig in to being right, one that doesn't dig into silos, one that lets go of history, one that focuses on going higher together. We call it co-elevating. It's a new word that I created because I think we needed it. Together, we'll elevate. Together, we'll go higher. It's all on me to make sure that I introduce those co-elevating relationships in my life. If I crossed my arms and waited for other people to make the first move, I could be very right and very mediocre, sitting here stubbornly. No, the better answer is co-elevation.